Hello. Welcome to another YAP session. If you don't know what these are, pretty much the video where we just talk about Pokemon Go, different topics in Pokemon Go, and we chill. And yeah, so anyway, timestamps on screen if you want to see or jump to the start of where we actually talk about what this title of the video is, which is, of course, my best catches of 2023. I'm in the bed today. Now, first of all, I'm not trying to gulp. Like, people were making comments last time that I was gulping into the mic, like that. What does that sound like? Does that bother you guys? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I was sick. I'm not sick anymore though, but we are in the bed today because, wait one sec, check this out. As you can see, clearly a snowstorm out there, but yeah, so we're not gonna be outside today. We're recording this inside. I could have waited till tomorrow, but you know, I'm lazy. So today we are talking about my best catches of 2024. I keep almost saying 2025. It's 2024. 2025 is the next year. And I'm excited for this video, to be honest. Now, in terms of how Pokédexi's been doing since last week, I was sick last week. Didn't feel great. Feeling better now. Feeling better. I feel like, honestly, I could go into a whole spiral thing of what, like how I make myself feel better. But obviously going to therapy helps. And also just like getting back into the swing of things. Last week, especially because I got sick, I was kind of just, I'm sure you guys have related, but you get down and out and then you kind of get out of your routine, and being out of your routine adds more stress to it because it's just unfamiliar and all that stuff. So got back into the routine, got back more comfortable, definitely feeling better. In terms of my sickness though, like, okay, I don't even know if I had a cold because my throat when I swallow actually still hurts. And theoretically, a common cold lasts like what, a week from what I from what I read online. You know, whatever, you know, how much should we trust online? I don't know, but common cold should last a week. And yeah, my throat still hurts when I swallow, so might be something else. We might consider going to the doctor soon to check that out and see what that is. Cause you know, thank God, Canada free healthcare, which is great. Anyway, today we're talking about Pokemon Go. We're going to hop right into Pokemon Go. I just do want to say, this is probably the last YAP session of the year, I'm pretty sure. So, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to anybody watching this video. I guess it's not the new year yet. Hopefully your holidays, when is this coming out even? I don't even know. If Christmas hasn't happened and you're watching this, happy Christmas. If you celebrate Hanukkah or whatever you might celebrate, happy holidays to you. I just want to say thank you as well to everybody who has supported the channel throughout the past year, throughout many years. We've been doing this for 4 years, started in 2020. We're going into our 5th year now. Absolutely insane. So yeah, again, thank you so much for the support. I'm going to continue pushing. I will say a lot of fun things coming as well. If you haven't seen on the community tab, we're working on merch dropping. Obviously, I'm going to be in the Unova tour, so that'll be fun, great opportunity. And trying to switch up the content. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but we've been trying new things, always trying new things on here on the Pokédex channel. Of course, the tips videos will always drop, but new things. So hopefully you like it. And if you don't, let me know what you want to see and what I guess feedback you could have. Nonetheless, 2024. How did I do in 2024? So I took a quick look at the stats, and let's get a baseline of how many, I guess you could say, valuable Pokemon I caught, because I think that is the thing. Like, people always say, like, you know, you caught this Pokemon, but not all of them are valuable. A lot of Pokemon are transferable. Now, in terms of valuable Pokemon, I usually mark 2 Pokemon. I think there's like a third category now, but number 1, total shinies caught. Now, I caught in 2024, granted, some of these might have been transferred, so we might be a bit higher, but 583 total shinies. If you don't know how to search this, by the way, you can search age 0-365 and shiny. That will show you all your shinies that you caught in the last 365 days. Now, it might not be exactly accurate because 365 days ago, technically that teeters a little bit into 2023, but around that number, 583, not a bad number of shinies. I think there's years where I've done much, much more, and I've definitely, why do I keep using the word teeter? Like I've definitely teetered off. It kind of works though. It's a perfect word for this situation. I've kind of teetered off in playing as much, so I don't play as much anymore in terms of just like grinding events and stuff, so I would lead with less shinies. But 583 shinies, that's a lot of sparkles. That's a lot of sparkles in 1 year. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Let me know in the comments how many shinies you ended up getting in the last year. 100% IVs. Now, this is a part where I feel like I should have done better, but also maybe not. I ended the year with 77 100% IVs caught. Now that's like one hundo every like what, 5? Is that 5 days? 4 days? 4 times 5 days. Around 5 days. A hundo every 5 days. Honestly, if you put it in that statement, it's not that bad because hundos are rare and hard to catch. But personally, I would think I would got more. I don't know. 77, 100% IVs in a year. Again, I'm curious how many you guys got. At the end of the day, the year's over. So there's not much I can change about the stat, but maybe next year. Again, I think one thing actually to just say is like, it all relates to how many Pokemon you caught. So if you don't catch a lot of Pokemon in the year, you're not going to get a lot of hundos. And it makes sense. This year, I definitely caught the least amount of Pokemon I've probably caught since I started playing because, again, I just kind of teetered off a little bit, more focused on content, less on just grinding and going out to play. So it makes sense. 77 hundos. I'm pretty happy with it. But I will say, out of all those hundos, shinies caught, actually let me explain the third category I was mentioning. I think there's a third category in like rare valuable Pokemon that aren't shinies or hundos, but they're like just like rare Pokemon in the sense of the Pokemon itself is rare or it has a background or it's like a rare legendary like a Galarian bird or like a, the IVs don't need to be good and it doesn't need to be shiny, but it's hard to get. Or like even like a mythical, like a Mew or something like that. Like it's a hard Pokemon to get, it's rare, but it doesn't technically fall into the category of a hundo or a shiny. So anyway, point is, we've caught a lot of Pokemon this year. We're going to be going through in order of oldest to newest. One sec. I just got to remove. This was not caught this year. Again, this is the problem. I have a couple Pokemon that were actually caught last year. Okay, let's do it. We're going to hop into it, and we're going to go through 32 of my best catches of 2024. Okay, first one here. This Pachirisu is a perfect IV Pachirisu. Now, Pachirisu was, of course, a Alaskan, or it's like a Northern Hemisphere regional, but it was released in eggs. I think it was eggs exclusive during the Sinnoh Tour, which happened at the start of this year, 2024. I ended up getting this one from Special Research, which is pretty crazy. If you don't know the Special Research in LA, when I was in LA, or like even like not LA, I think the Global had the same, but there's a research where you could get encounters with the regional Pokemon that were released for the tour. Ended up getting one from the Special Research, which was a 1 out of 1 encounter. So pretty cool. I also like how it shows me who I was in a party with. I was in a party with Grolnor, Pokédaxy Mom, which my mom, and Trevor. Shout out to Trevor, who was helping us play in LA and helping us with some videos. Anyway, Hundo Pachirisu, we ended up best buddying this, and this is something you're going to notice this year. I kind of took on a challenge similar to Zoe 2 Dots, where I want to get a hundo of every regional Pokemon, because I think that's pretty cool and it's pretty rare. So Pachirisu was, of course, I think was the first hundo I caught where I decided, oh, you know what, this would be a cool challenge to take on and start collecting them. And you'll see some of the catches we got this year. Anyway, it also is a good Great League Pokemon. I ended up maxing out to level 50 because I ended up hatching and catching so many Pachirisus during both Sinnoh tours. So pretty hyped about this. I think, I don't think it's that great in the Great League, but if the electric type comes back, I'll take it. Anyway, Pachirisu, first catch. Second, Shiny Spiritomb. And you're going to notice a lot of these catches here are related to the Sinnoh Tour because this is the start. Now, this is you're going to say is like Pokédex. This was a traded Pokemon. Now, this was actually traded to me from Fleece King. There's actually a literal video. I think there's a video of me making this trade with Fleece King. But what I will say is I did get a shiny Spiritomb at the Sinnoh Tour. And then Fleece King got a shiny Spiritomb at the Sinnoh Tour, I think. Was it during the Sinnoh Tour? Yes, caught during Time Research. Sorry, I just flipped the next one. So we ended up deciding to mirror trade them. So theoretically, I would have put the shiny Spiritomb as the first one, as one of the best catches of the year, but I'm putting this traded Spiritomb because I traded my shiny Spiritomb I caught this year for this one. But I think it's cool anyway. It was traded from Fleece King. IVs didn't end up being that great. Would have been a cool shundo to have, but it is what it is. And Spiritomb is a really rare shiny, so it's also very nice shiny. So I'll take it. Happy about this. Shout out to Fleece King for the trade. And yeah, this is from LA, so anyway, moving on. Hundo Palkia. Of course, Palkia and Dialga did get released this year, 2 of the releases. And we ended up getting the Hundo. This was actually caught in Pasadena, grinding around with Coops, Trevor, and Pokemama. This was our crew for LA. We would hop in. My mom rented a car. Well, we rented a car. I paid for part of it. Thank you very much. And then we just grinded LA raids in Pasadena. We had the party play, all that stuff. And I don't know if Coops ended up getting a shundo. I don't think my mom got a hundo or anything like that. Trevor, I think, got some pretty good stuff. But anyway, hundo, this is a very strong Pokemon. This thing I will say this is actually probably one of my most used Pokemon now in Pokemon Go. It's great for rocket battles. It's good for PvP. It's good for, like, overall, Palkia in the origin form is an amazing, useful Pokemon. Arguably one of the most impactful Pokemon that was released this year. If you've seen my video on the Pokemon Go 2024 awards, it was up for a contender. I'd honestly, I almost want to take back saying Dawnwing's Necrozma is better than Palkia. I think Palkia is actually more versatile. Maybe I should change. I can't change it now, but going back, actually, I think Palkia might be the most impactful Pokemon of the year. Hard to say. It also does have Spatial Ren, so I can use, again, this is probably my most used Pokemon of the year, and it is absolutely amazing. Hundo, Palkia with the move, insanely good. Best buddy, right? Best buddy, yeah. Anyway, we also ended up getting a 98 Shiny Palkia. Now, this was caught actually the week after, during the Global Sinnoh Tour, when I was doing my 100 Raid Challenge. I ended up getting a bunch of Palkias with insane IVs. This one also does have the move, which is actually amazing because I don't think it was guaranteed. From what I remember, maybe it was depending on the badge you chose. But anyway, ended up getting the 98 Shiny Palkia. It's not an amazing shiny, but it's still nice. Haven't powered this up. Again, when you have the hundo, it's do you really want to power this up? I'm not 100% sure, but caught from a remote raid from New South Wales, Australia. It's an Australian Shiny Palkia. Who invited this? Oh, it doesn't tell you who invited. Anyway, Shiny 98 Palkia. You can't go wrong with Shiny 98, so you're going to see a couple of those that we caught this year. Moving on, Mesprit. Shiny Mesprit, level 1. Now, one of my favorite things of the tour events, and we're probably going to see it at the Unova Tour as well, is Wild Legendaries. The Wild Legendaries for the Sinnoh Tour were, of course, Shiny Mesprit, Uxie, and Azelf, which is already Pokemon that you can actually find in the wild. Like Uxie, Azelf, and Mesprit are already Pokemon you can find in the wild. So it's not too cool, but they're very rare, and especially when they're caught at level 1, the lowest CP legendary you can actually get, I think it's pretty insane. So I ended up getting this one during a challenge. You can actually watch me catch this. It was caught during a challenge between me and Pokemama. The video is called Most Wild Legendaries Caught in 1 Hour Wins, where me and Pokemama tried to get the most amount of Galarian Birds and Uxie, Azelf's Mesprits in an hour, and I believe I caught this. Sorry, I'm just going to sit up right now. I believe I ended up catching this during that challenge. So really cool catch. Nothing really much to say about it. I should probably best buddy this. So we're going to tag this to best buddy because I don't know. It's just really cool. It would be amazing. Imagine this was a Nundo. That'd be insane. I don't know. I think it's just really cool to see a legendary at 40 CP. That's not something you really see and insanely rare. So really insane catch. Happy I got it. Moving on. Dialga. We ended up getting a Hundo Dialga from the global raids. Again, we did a 100 raid challenge. We got that 98 Shiny Palkia, but we also got a Hundo Dialga origin form. However, this thing is the bane of my existence because I think I chose the Pearl badge, which meant I have a higher odds of getting Spatial Rend on Palkias, but not Roar of Time on Dialgas. And as you'll see, this Dialga does not have Roar of Time. There's no way to get Roar of Time on Dialga, which I'm very mad about, and I'm waiting for the day we get that. So yeah, I haven't powered it up. As you can see, it's not powered up. It's just kind of chilling. Because again, there's no point in really powering it up because it doesn't have Roar of Time, and Roar of Time is such a busted move that if you're going to run a Dialga in PvP, you want Roar of Time or else you're just at a pretty big disadvantage. So haven't powered it up. It's just kind of sitting here waiting for the day that we allow for Roar of Time to be TM'd on. Will we ever get that day? I don't know. I hope. You guys know. A lot of people here can probably relate. Probably a lot of hundos of Dialga and Palkia were caught this year without the move. So I hope we're able to get the move soon. But yeah, there you go. Hundo Dialga caught from the global Sinnoh Tour. Anyway, moving on. Chatot. Now, as you can see, I mentioned it before, Hundo regional Pokemon. And again, another one here was actually hatched from an egg during the Global Sinnoh Tour, which I was really happy about this because, again, I think there was, 3 regionals? What was there? Pachirisu, Chatot, and was it Relicanth? Was the other Sinnoh Tour? Tropius? No, that was the year before. I think there's a regional from the Sinnoh I'm missing. If I'm not, maybe I ended up getting both. But anyway, Chatot, Regional Pokemon caught Hundo. Happy about this. Again, I actually should best buddy this because we're working on best buddying it. I could actually also max this out. I did say I wanted to max out. I might wait to, I might make a video where once I've got every hundo of every regional, I'll max them all out at the same time. Maybe we'll do that. I also have 12 million stars right now, so I'm probably gonna do a power up video soon. So we'll wait to do that. We're not gonna do that right now, but Hundo Chatot, really cool catch, really cool hatch. I'm excited about it. Caught in Ottawa during the, I actually kind of went off during the Global Sinnoh Tour. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, Galarian Moltres. We love Galarian birds. They were, of course, shiny released this year. We caught one early in the year, caught in the Master Ball 2024 third. When did I do that? Was this during the 24-hour challenge? This might have been during the first 24-hour challenge of the year. Yeah, actually, this is when it was. So Roar of Time got released early in the year. Once I got Roar of Time, I did a 24-hour challenge when I had the time. I think it was in March. Yeah, January, February, March. Yeah, March 20th. We did a 24-hour daily adventure instance challenge. Of course, we did one recently as well last month or 2 months ago. That was last month. Ended up using my Master Ball, and IVs are mid, but, you know, we had the 24-hour daily adventure instance. I wanted to make sure I left with some sort of thing of value, and the Galarian Moltres was what we left with. IVs mid, great for trading, so that's pretty much what we're going to do with that one. Zarude came back this year, which I was super hyped about, and fun story about Zarude coming back. We got in the special research story, but I was for the longest time had enough XL candies to power up Zarude to level 50. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to power up my old Zarude or my new Zarude. So we ended up getting a Zarude. I ended up making a post on YouTube and on Twitter saying, yo guys, which Zarude should I power up? You guys ended up telling me my old one had better IVs, so we ended up powering up that one. And now I have a level 50 Zarude. This, of course, is not the level 50 Zarude, but this is the Zarude. It's hard to say Zarude a lot of times. Zarude. This is the Zarude we ended up catching this year. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty good. Well, IVs are all right, really. It's a cool Pokemon, though. I love Zarude. Hope we get shiny Zarude at some point. I don't think it's the nicest shiny from what my brain remembers of it, but well, I'll take it, I guess, at the end of the day. It is really storming out there. To go drive to the other side of town tonight. And that's going to be sketchy. So hopefully that's all right. But anyway, Zarude caught it. You know, important catch because, again, these things are rare, hard to get. Let's move on to the next, Shiny Shaman. Now, again, this is what I was talking about earlier. There are some Pokemon in Pokemon Go that, well, this one is shiny, but like Zarude, for example, it's not a shiny, it's not a hundo, but it's still a rare Pokemon. Same with Shaman. You can only get one shiny Shaman, right? One shiny Shaman. This was, of course, during the, or was released during the Sinnoh Tour Global, no, LA. I think I got the research because I went to LA. The Masterwork research, it was hard to complete, so of course I didn't finish it in March. We ended up finishing it in, January, February, March, April, May. Sorry, I don't know why I can't just remember, like, say 5. Oh, that's May. Like, I have to count. I have to say January, February, March, April, May to figure it out. But ended up catching the Shiny Shaman. IVs are not that good. I could form change it. Like, again, a cool Pokemon for the decks. I think it's a mythical, right? So it's untradeable. So it's just kind of just going to sit here and be mid. Probably won't power it up. It's not that, it's a decent grass attacker, but there's better. So, you know, it is a Pokemon we caught this year though. So, yeah, Shiny Shaman, hyped about it. Yeah, it took me a while to do the research. It's kind of impressed because that's 3 months to do the Masterwork research. I will say the Masterwork research was definitely, or let me say this. I remember March, April, May were like probably my least played Pokemon Go months of the year. And that's why it actually took me so long to do this Shaman, because the task was like use 100 berries to help catch Pokemon, but I just wasn't playing at all. So I was like, it was just really, really hard and took a while to finish the research, even though the tasks weren't that crazy. So anyway, we got it. That's the point. We got it. It's there. One of the best catches of the year. Moving on, we got ourselves a question mark shiny unknown. Now this was actually marked for Murdoch. Murdoch is a local player, Master Murdoch, and he's actually coming on the Japan trip with us in March, which will be a blast. But he did dibs the shiny question mark unknown. Now, shiny question mark unknown, of course, released during Go Fest this summer. It's kind of crazy. All my best catches were during Go Fest and stuff. So we went to Japan for the first time last year, which was probably my best Pokemon Go memory of the last year. LA was amazing, but I had always wanted to go to Japan as a child, and I finally made my way out there to Sendai, Miyagi, for Go Fest. Yeah, for Go Fest 2023, which was a great Go Fest. Necrozma released during Go Fest. And of course, the shiny unknown question mark was released as well. I tried to stack up on as many as these as I could this year. And the first one we ended up getting was the one in Japan. Now, I'm going to trade to Murdoch. So Murdoch, it's waiting for you. I think I ended up getting a second one of these as well. We might see it in here. But yeah, these things are insanely rare. Question mark unknown, a new shiny. Yeah. Sorry, I keep looking outside because the snow is so beautiful. Marshadow. Marshadow was, of course, released also in not Japan. Technically, it was released during GoFest, like whatever first GoFest you went to. Of course, Japan was the first GoFest I decided to go to. And yeah, GoFest Sendai 2024. What was this? March, April, May. It was caught May 29th. So I caught this. I think I caught this on the first day of GoFest in Japan because I was able to get the I was able to get it so quickly. So amazing. Super hyped about getting, oh my God. Super hyped about getting the Marshadow. It's so interesting because when you click on Marshadow, it almost looks like it turns into a shiny Marshadow. Yeah, IVs were mid on my Marshadow. You guys probably had mid IVs on your Marshadow. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section below because good for you, I guess. I'm probably a little salty, but anyway. I've powered this up a couple times. I'm not sure why. I would consider level 50ing this just because like, it looks like such a small Pokemon, but its CP can go to like 4,000. It's kind of funny. I always love a small Pokemon with a high CP. I think it's juxtaposition. Juxtaposition is a juxtaposition. It's also pretty good in PvP, I've heard. Sucker Punch, Thunder Punch, kind of crazy. Anyway, you can check the clip of me catching this if you watch the video. I went to Japan Go Fest, something along the lines of that. Anyway, Necrozma Hundo. This one was caught in Japan. This was actually caught, was it a remote raid? No, it was remote raid. Now, pretty much in Sendai, the best way to play GoFest, there was this one street and you would walk up and down this street. And pretty much walking up and down this street, you could reach a lot of gyms and you could reach a big area of gyms. So every time you did a raid in Japan, you would actually, I don't know if it was guaranteed, but a lot of times you would get a background. So I was doing a lot of in-person raids because we're on this street and you could pretty much hit all of these raids. So I was walking up, raiding, getting a bunch of Necrozmas, shinies with their backgrounds, all that stuff. Then there was just one gym and it was out of range. And I was like, oh, that's annoying. Let me just do a remote raid. Let me do one of my 5 remote raids. The remote raid wasn't increased for the in-person GoFest, only the global ones. And guess what happened? I ended up getting, oh my God, I almost just unfused them. I ended up getting a Hundo Necrozma from the one remote raid, which meant it was impossible for it to have a background because the remote raid ones did not have the backgrounds. So I ended up getting this Hundo Necrozma. Yeah, it's cool. I'm a little salty it doesn't have a background, but it's cool anyway. My first Hundo Necrozma, really strong Pokemon. Ended up deciding to fuse it with Duskmane because I thought Duskmane is just cooler. Best buddied, all that stuff. Again, not as useful with the adventure effect and everything like that. But yeah, caught remotely in a raid. Sendai Miyagi. It's cool. Hundo Necrozma. It's got a high CP too. So anyway, that's the story of Necrozma and how I did one remote raid to end up getting the Hundo so it can have the background. Unknown question mark, back to it. Again, caught another one in Sendai Miyagi. I think actually, looking back at it, unknown question mark was spawning at all 3 GoFests and the global one, but I only ended up getting the shiny question marks in Japan, which like, obviously like it's just random. Like it doesn't really matter, but that's kind of fun. Well, is it fun? I don't know. Shiny unknown though, we'll take it. IVs on this are mid. Again, another Pokemon I'm just going to trade away because it's not that good. But it's still cool and it's rare and it's memories of Japan because Japan was absolutely wild. And again, I'm so blessed to be able to have gone there. Oh man, can't wait to go back. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Stay tuned for content. Okay, moving on, we have a Xurkitree from Japan. Now, Shiny Xurkitree was one of the shiny releases for the Japan Go Fest. And as you can see, this one does have the exclusive background. So this is actually the background that the Hundo Necrozma would have had if I didn't remote raid it. Most likely, potentially. Anyway, ended up getting it in Japan, and you're like, why is this so cool? It's a 98 background Xurkitree. Really cool. I'm surprised I haven't powered this up because this thing is an absolute beast as an electric attacker. I was actually looking through my storage and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know I had this. Like sometimes I just forget about these insane catches I do. So it's really cool to make this video and kind of, I guess, have the moment to remember them. But anyway, cool background, cool Xurkitree. Would have been cool if it was shiny, but you know, don't get too greedy. I'll probably end up powering this up. Do I have the XLs? I do. Yeah. I'll probably like when, is there anything like the next thing that, The next thing, sorry, I thought I just exposed every single catch I was going to go through. The next time there's a Pokemon Week 2 Xurkitree out, I will power this up to use in raids. So anyway, cool catch. Moving on, we also have a Solgaleo. Now we're moving on to the next Go Fest, which was Madrid Go Fest. If you don't know, actually, we did all 3 Go Fests this year, which was exhausting. I don't know if I'd ever do that again. But the second of the 2, after Japan, we flew to Madrid for Madrid Go Fest. Now, we were in Madrid with Pokédaxy Mom and Casual Coops. So I saw Coops twice last year. The second time was in Madrid. Caught it from the special research. This was a Cosmog you could actually get coming, and it was guaranteed to come with the Madrid background, which is pretty cool. IVs, again, are mid, and most likely I will end up trading this or like mirror trading this to somebody. But I do like Solgaleo. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I actually like it more than Duskmane Necrozma. Maybe it's because of its like face is kind of like moony or spacey. I'm not sure, but I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I like the background. And again, it's just a cool memory from Madrid. Yeah, we got the Solgaleo. Fun times with Coops and Pokemama in Madrid. Granted, though, that was one hot Go Fest. I was sweating profusely during it. Okay, talking about 98 shinies. This was back in Madrid. Ended up getting a shiny 98 Voltorb. I believe this was off the auto catcher. I was day 3 of Madrid, and we had shot a bunch of content, had a bunch of fun, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to walk around now. We're going to like, say hi to people. Let me throw in the auto catcher. And then after the day I was going through, I'm pretty sure, and I ended up checking. I was like, oh my God, I almost auto catchered another Shundo. If you don't remember last year, 2023, we ended up auto catching a Lechonk Shundo, which was crazy. Almost pulled the back-to-back. We ended up getting the shiny 98 Hisuian Voltorb. And again, I don't know if I'd ever power this up because, like, again, it's useless powered up. But again, caught during Go Fest in a party with Casual Coops, YouTube, Pokédaxy Mom, and in your dad's bed. Don't know who that is. I don't even remember who. When was I in a party with in your dad's bed? I don't know who this is. But shiny 98, it's there. Cool catch. I think that's our second shiny 98 of the year. So glad to be getting these. I think there's a couple more. Anyway, moving on. Shiny Melton. Now, this is like just a random catch. Shiny Melton, of course, came back. Was it the anniversary event? 628, right? That's the anniversary event. Usually every year Shiny Melton comes back, but it's a rare shiny because this is a shiny that you actually can't get all the time. You can only get it once it gets shiny unlocked. Usually, again, during the anniversary event. This year I was lucky enough to get one. Yeah, again, I think this is the anniversary event, unless he came back during a different event. Not an insane catch of the year, but I still think it's worth a mention just because it is a rare shiny, and it's nice to get one every year. I only got one this year. I think I've gotten maybe 2 others. I'm not sure. Let me know if you end up getting one. Hyped about this catch, though. We'll take it because it's rare, and again, good trade bait. Moving on. Necrozma with the background. You might be like, what's so special about it? It has a hundo. That was weird. I don't know why I got so dramatic. Okay, fun story about this. Day 2 of Go Fest. You guys have actually seen the clip of me catching this because I did post the clip, but no, it was day 1 of New York City Go Fest, the final of the 3 in-person Go Fests. And we go to the park morning. I see all the YouTubers. We see Billy, JT Gilly, Mystic 7. Good to catch up with all the buds. And I'm walking and I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's get Go Fest going. Let me hop in this Necrozma raid, first one. And off the first raid, we end up getting the 100% IV Necrozma. And I'm like, oh my God, no way. And like JT Gilly was there, Trainer Club was there, and I'm showing you guys like, oh my God, Hundo first raid, which like, it happens. It happens. Never happened to me, but it was the first time it happened to me. So I was like, let's go. So I'm like, okay, let me put the camera down. You guys have seen this clip. Like if you've watched the Go Fest videos, you've seen this clip, but I'm going to explain it for anyone who didn't. And you can find this clip. It's on the Go Fest New York City video. I put the camera down. I start throwing balls. I'm sniping. I'm sniping because I'm goated with the throws. Excellence, golden raspberries every time. But this Necrozma will not stay in the Pokeball. And I am like literally getting so frustrated. Maybe I wasn't that frustrated, but I'm throwing Pokeballs. I get down to my last ball. And then I look at Gilly. I'm like, Gilly, like, I will master ball this if it's guaranteed to have the background. Because I don't know. I like master balling a hundo is nice, but like, I don't know if I'd ever do it if it wasn't like a special hundo. And Gilly says, is this your first raid of the day? I think that was what he said. And supposedly, if it's your first raid of the day, it's guaranteed a background. That's what he said. So I was like, okay, Gilly, like, can you guarantee me that this is going to have a background if I Master Ball? And he was like, yes. And he says, I will put up some shiny legendary Pokemon as collateral. So if it didn't have a background, like this is how much he was so confident in that he said that he would transfer some sort of shiny legendary if it didn't have a background, just because like, I don't know. And maybe like he just do it for the content. I don't know, but it did end up having the background. We ended up Master Balling it. New York, Master Balled Hundo Necrozma with the background. Fun story, fun time catching this. Again, I'm surprised I didn't even catch this without a Master Ball, but ended up having to be caught in the Master Ball. We did it anyway. It's there. And now I have two. I have one of each Hundo Necrozma, so I was hype about this. Thank you, Gilly, for convincing me to Master Ball it. Appreciate it. Moving on. Shiny Corsola. This was caught in Ottawa during the GoFest Global. Oh, yeah, this was the other. Is this the other? Oh, never mind. I'm thinking it's a regional. This was the regional that was shiny released during Global Go Fest. Hyped about it. Really glad I got this one. I think I actually got this off the AUTOCATCHER, which was insane. I actually caught this when we did the limo video. Somebody rented a limo for Go Fest this year. So we got a bunch of players to play in a limo. We had champagne. There's a whole video about it again. We did some crazy things this year. Go watch the video if you haven't seen it. Playing Pokemon Go in a limo. And yeah, ended up getting a shiny Corsola. It's just a really cool shiny, in my opinion, a very rare shiny, depending where you live in the world. For me, it's rare. Some people, it's not. So I'm hyped about this. I was in a party with Poseidon, Mr. Babushka, and Gorbenstein. So cool. Happy I got it. And yeah, shiny Corsola. Moving on. Flabebe, 100% Ivy. Now, what you'll see at the bottom here, caught in Taka Taka, Tasman, New Zealand. Now, blue Flabebe, I don't know exactly the region. I believe it's a Oceania only Flabebe. And I caught this off the AUTOCATCHER. No, not off the AUTOCATCHER, with a manual catch at a salmon fish farm. So if you don't know, I went to New Zealand in the back half of the year with some buddies of mine. And my goal for the trip was not to play Pokemon Go. Some of you guys might not even know I went to New Zealand because the whole point of the trip was to de-stress, go on a boys trip and not have to worry about recording videos, playing the game, blah, blah, like just be able to relax and enjoy a new country, which I find sometimes is hard for me because, you know, you go and you want to record everything that you see and like I want to make videos for you guys, but also sometimes I need time to chill. So I barely opened Pokemon Go on that whole trip, but we went to this salmon fish farm in Abel Tasman, New Zealand, where you would go and you would be given a fishing rod and you would go to the salmon fish farm and you would fish out a salmon that they would then fillet for you and you could take home. So you're like catching your own fresh fish, but it's from a farm. It's kind of a weird concept, but nonetheless, when we were waiting for our fish to be filleted, we had caught one off the rod. We reeled it in, put it in the box, blah, blah, blah. They filleted it. It took a while to fillet because there's a lot of people there. There's a line, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, you know what? Let me, for the first time, open up Pokemon Go in New Zealand, catch a Pokemon. Maybe it was like, that wasn't the first time. It was like the second or third. But I had played for maybe a total of like 30 minutes in my 2-week trip. I see a Flabebe. I'm like, oh, blue flower Flabebe. Let me catch that. I catch it. Ends up being a Hundo, which I think is a pretty cool little story here. I'm excited. I'm happy about this. Caught off the Great Ball. Again, really hype I caught this. And again, it's a rare version of the flower Flabebe because in my area, I think they're like, are they yellow and orange? I'm not sure the colors and where they spread, but I know I can't get this in Ottawa. So hyped about this catch. Yeah. Blue flower Flabebe Hundo. Cool. Moving on. Mawile Mega Hundo. You're like, okay, Dax, why? Like, this is not that cool. Like, don't get me wrong. A Hundo is great, but why is Mawile one of your best catches of the year? And let me explain. I have a goal, I think some people have a goal, to get a Hundo of every single Mega Pokemon in Pokemon Go. And I've been failing on that goal. I've gotten a lot of them. I think I'm at like 40 out of like, I don't know how many Megas there are total, like 66. That's just random numbers. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was doing really well 2022, 2023, getting like maybe like 3 or 4 towards my goal every year. But 2024, I barely got any Hundos that I didn't have that were Mega forms. So when Mega Mawile Raid Day got announced, I was really, really excited because it was my chance to get a 100% IV for Mawile, which of course does have a Mega, and I did not have a Hundo of it. This was caught in New Zealand. I was actually streaming, and we ended up getting a Hundo Mawile. The funny thing about this event, though, is this event was on the same day I was flying back home from New Zealand to LA and then from LA to Ottawa. So I was actually going back in time. Was it back in time? Yeah, back in time. So I played Mega Mawile Ray Day. I ended up getting the hundo in Auckland, New Zealand, which was really cool. And again, I was really excited because I got it, and I needed the hundo that I didn't have for the megas. But then when I flew from Auckland to LA, I landed in LA, it was actually 10 a.m., which meant I then ended up playing Mega Mawile Ray Day a second time with Awesome Adam in LA at Santa Monica Pier, which was really fun. Adam had me out. We had a good time. I think I ended up getting a hundo. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I ended up getting another hundo or a bunch of other shinies or something like that in LA. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But anyway, point is, got this in Auckland, and then I played Mega Mawile Ray Day a second time. So, I don't know. Take what you want from that story, but I'm just happy I got the hundo. Moving on. Inteleon. Dynamax Inteleon. Now, when Dynamax got released, I wasn't that hyped on it. I actually grinded pretty hard on the first day, but then I kind of just stopped playing it. But then when I was driving in my car one day, I looked at my optometer, the one that tells you how many kilometers you've driven your car. I check it and I'm like, oh, it's time for an oil change. And I completely forgot. So I was like, okay, I need to get an oil change pronto. So called the garage, went in, dropped off the car, got an oil change. While you're getting an oil change, obviously you can do whatever you want, but I was like, you know what? Let me play some Pokemon Go. It was still the fall, so like the weather wasn't too bad, and I was in a good area to play Pokemon Go. So I go out, start walking around, and I start playing Pokemon Go. I end up seeing a Sobble Dynamax battle, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just do it, even though I haven't done them in a while. End up going ahead and doing it, and I end up getting the hundo Dynamax Inteleon. So hyped about this. This is actually my first Dynamax hundo. I think Dynamax hundos are a cool new like rare thing people can hunt. And yeah, pretty excited about this. I am working on best buddying it. I'm also working on getting enough XL candies to max it out. When I end up getting this, I looked at my XL candies and like I have no Sobble XLs. So I'm excited that this thing, well, it's not really spawning in the wild, but I need to get enough XLs so I can max this out. I don't know. I think Dynamax hundos are just cool and rare, so not that insane of a catch, but we'll take it. Moving on, Shiny 98, Annihilate. Now, Annihilate Community, of course, or Mankey Community was in the fall, like last month. Yeah, it was last month. Ended up getting the Shiny 98. Again, another Shiny 98. I think it's our third one. We got the Palkia, the Voltorb, and this. So I think this was our third and final Shiny 98 of the year. Let me know what Shiny 98s you caught this year. But I'm excited about this one. I think Annihilate was one of the communities I was most excited for this year. Gumi was cool, and I played it in Japan, which was fun. But I just think Annihilate is such a cool Pokemon, such a fun design, such a unique typing. And I was really excited when it had its community day, and really excited to get this Shiny 98. Yeah, should probably best buddy this. But anyway, moving on, Corsola. Now, this Corsola was actually not mine. It was actually given to me from a trade from my mom. Now, my mom caught this Pokemon in the wild at GoFest, it seems like, Global GoFest. Yeah, Ottawa, Ontario Global GoFest. And then one day, I was just doing trades, and I saw she had a Corsola, or a bunch of Corsolas, and I had some. So I traded her Corsolas for my Corsolas. And this didn't even go lucky. It just ended up becoming a hundo, which is insane. Super excited about it. And I'm getting the Shiny Corsola and the Hundo Corsola this year. And again, I'm mainly excited about it because, again, it's working towards my Hundo Pokedex of getting all my Hundos or Hundo regional Pokemon. So really excited about this. Thank you, Pokemama, for the trade. Moving on, a Dynamax Excadrill. Now, did you guys, I was live streaming and ended up getting this on my third Drillbur Max Battle when Drillbur Max Battles were released. We just started the stream. We had done 3, ended up getting the hundo. And the funny thing is I was talking so much in my videos about how good Excadrill was going to be against Toxtricity. And I was super excited when I was able to get the hundo Excadrill from the start. I didn't end up getting another hundo Dynamax Drillbur, which sucks a little, but doesn't really matter. And this was also the Excadrill that we ended up using to take down Toxtricity with 4 people. So super excited about this. Really cool catch. Again, one of 3 Hundo Dynamax Pokemon I caught this year. So, 3 Dynamax Pokemon is kind of Hundo Dynamaxes is kind of insane in the time it's been released. Hundo Unknown H. This is H, right? Again, another Pokemon that I was just trading with my mom. I was just trading some unknowns. It doesn't go lucky. It just ends up being a random hundo. Super cool. Again, Pokemama's kind of hit me with some crazy trade luck. This was caught during the Sinnoh tour as well in LA. And yeah, she traded over to me. We were doing some trades and got a hundo. Can't complain. Cool rare. I love the hundo unknowns. Shiny Popstar Pikachu. This was caught during the Wild Area Global event. Absolutely insane catch. It was in the video as well. If you saw the video where I tried to catch every single wild shiny wild shiny Pokemon during the wild area. Super hyped about it. Caught it. I'm probably going to trade this away. I know a lot of people in the Ottawa area are asking me for this Pokemon because they want it. Again, I don't really care about costume Pokemon, so I'll probably trade it away, but I do recognize how rare it is. I do recognize the value of it. And yeah, it was a pretty cool catch this year. Probably won't be staying in the storage though, but we'll probably get something cool for it. Anyway, Hundo Dynamax Bulbasaur was the final Hundo of the year we caught. This was caught during the 24-hour challenge we ended up doing right near the end of November. After the Wild Area event, we did a 24-hour challenge. You might have seen the video we dropped earlier this week, and then last week we dropped the 24-hour daily adventure instance video. So yeah, check those out if you haven't. Hundo Dynamax Bulbasaur, again, another Pokemon I need to max out. But again, I always just wait until the Pokemon is like useful, you could say, like I can use it. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I'm not going to go ahead and use or power this up until there's a reason for me to be using a Venusaur, which I haven't had a reason yet. Anyway, boom, this was the one. And if I were to choose one of the best Pokemon I caught this year, it has to be a shiny Galarian Zapdos. This is, of course, released. I think it was it September or October? The shiny Galarian birds got released. I wanted one so bad, and I love shiny Galarian birds because they are so rare. They are so hard to get. This was caught during the 24-hour Daily Adventure Instance Challenge. I used Daily Adventure Instance for 24 hours to get this thing. So really excited about catching it. It was actually also the Pokemon I wanted because I'm on Team Instinct, so I wanted the shiny Zapdos. Galarian Zapdos is my favorite of all three birds. If you haven't seen the clip of me catching it, go watch it. Literally, this is the #1 catch of the year for me. IVs are mid, doesn't matter, never trading it, gonna keep this. Yeah, love this, absolutely insane. Caught in the Ultra Ball, the #1 catch of the year. Easy, hands down, can't go wrong with it. We also ended up getting a Galarian Articuno. I believe I Master Balled this actually. Yeah, we ended up Master Balling this one. This was also caught during the 24-hour Daily Adventure Instance Challenge. I think the reason I Master Balled this is because I just didn't want to leave 24 hours of Daily Adventure Instance and only leave with one bird because that feels kind of useless. We ended up encountering like 8, 9, maybe like 6 to 8 birds personally off my Daily Adventure Instance. Only ended up catching 2, a shiny and a Master Balled one. So, but that's kind of just how Galarian birds work. They're really hard to catch. This thing is so majestic. Look at its tail, just how it swirls. Crazy. And the final one of the year is a Hundo Unknown Eye. And guess what? Yes, my mom traded me a Hundo Corsola and 2 Hundo Unknowns this year. Absolutely goated. Thank you. Shout out to Pokemama if you're watching this. Can't go wrong. Hundo Unknown Eye. Really hyped about it. And yeah, that was the last catch of the year. So yeah, guys, that is 32 of my best catches of the year. I am very curious. What are your best catches of the year? Please let me know in the comment section below what you ended up catching. And again, we're moving into 2025. I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it. And I can't wait to see what catches we do. Because that's the thing about Pokemon Go. You always say is like, oh, I haven't caught anything good in a while, blah, blah, blah. Like, you could get a Shundo tomorrow. You could get a Shundo today. You just don't know it. And that's the beauty of it, the mystery of it. And these are all the Pokemon that I guess were a mystery to me. So if this is how 2023 was, or 2024 was, sorry, I keep mixing up the years. Who knows what's going to happen in 2025. Okay, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you guys all with the YAP session in 2025. Yeah, love you all. Fall for tips. Peace.